Welcome back to Ferocious Education, this is Ed. Today, we're going to be talking about metamaterials, going with the ticker MMAT. Today's video, we're going to go towards due diligence, technical analysis, and what we think about this one. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. Now, metamaterial, we did talk about this before. You find my previous video in the description below, but let's take a look into who they are in the first kind of wave. The first part of this is to understand what Meta is, and Meta delivers breakthrough performance across a range of applications and industries by designing, developing, and manufacturing sustainable, highly functioning materials. Now, basically, they're taking a look into the meta spectrum, which is still considered to be very new, and it's beyond the concept of visibility. Now, the meta advantage is that it has speed, it's faster than usual, so you can actually develop a prototype within hours than months, and then scale, so you're able to develop proprietary roll-to-roll production equipments at a fast pace to basically produce high-volume nanocomposites. It costs, they're a few dollars per meter square, so increasing the roll-to-roll web width and the line speed should drive the cost down. So let's go back a second and discuss what are metamaterials. So metamaterials control on-demand unique functionality properties such as absorption, emission, sensing, transmission, and guiding of light, sound, and energy and heat, as well as friction, strength, and electrical energy. Now, metamaterials are typically created by patterning composites and nanomaterials. Until recently, development has taken place only at laboratory scale on a very small substrates. And several opportunities here that we're looking at, including 5G infrastructure, vehicle electrification, combined $3 trillion value and more in other verticals, scarcity and control of raw materials, and metamaterials device market is expected to hit $10.7 billion SAM by 2030. Now, some of the applications here, I'm just going to dive right through them. Holography, lithography, wireless sensing, and 5G reflections through transparent window film, and indoor 5G digital TV receptions in buildings, LiDAR protection in de-ice and defogging, plus EMI shielding for electrical vehicles, and transparent sensors and 5G antennas, and integrating artificial R or AR with perspective lenses. It's also under the label or the brand AR Fusion, which integrates optical elements for AR, augmented reality. I said artificial, that was my mistake. It's augmented reality, combined with lens casting technology developed by Interglass Technology AG. Now, we also have solar energy application and medical application that is being developed currently with mid to long term potential 2 to 7 years. And they also have massive amount of partners and multiple different partners in different fields. Now, going back towards the latest news, they have two latest news. The first one is expands executive leadership with 2 strategic appointments. That was back on September 21st, 2021, and announcing the Global Innovation Research Program to accelerate metamaterials breakthrough on September 22nd, 2021. So I'm more interested in the September 2021 one. So this here basically said that they have a global strategic co-development initiative called Ideas for Innovation, or I4I. This new outreach program builds upon 10 years of shaping the field of metamaterial science in partnership with top researchers from around the world, and 4 years of scaling Meta's proprietary functioning or manufacturing tools to develop disruptive and sustainable products and solutions. Now, on the other thing that we're taking a look at is SEC filings. But before we hit there, make sure to drop a like to this video if you'd actually enjoyed this video so far. And on the bottom right corner, you can actually click subscribe if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more. Please turn on the notification button for this channel. And in the description below, you'll find our Discord link, which is totally free. Now, another thing on metamaterials. So metamaterials SEC filing, this was back a little bit on the 26th of August, so a little bit on the end of it. And you're able to see this was in relations of issuing 30.8 million shares. So here, for the purpose of registering 30.8 million shares of common stock reserved for issuance under amendment and restated stock options. And another one here, around 190 million shares, And this one here is the exchange shares were issued by exchange in connection with our acquisition of all our issued and outstanding common shares of Metamaterials to Metamaterials shareholders who have valid election to receive exchanges of shares in lieu of receiving shares of our common stock. The issuance of exchangeable shares was not registered under the SEC in 1933 and was issued in reliance upon the exemption from registration provided by Section 3A10. So what does that mean? It just basically doesn't really affect the float much. This is kind of a substitution of some existing shares. So that isn't something we need to worry about. It's mainly the 30.8 million shares. Also, that's not added to the float yet. That's just added to the overall shares, outstanding shares to be specific. Now, on another thing is institutional buyers. Institution has been really active on the 24th of September. This stock has been added to funds on multiple accounts. So there's almost around, let's say, very close to around 700, 800,000 shares that are added to funds. In addition, early on in September, or all the way from now, or where this video is made, all the way to early September, we don't see any disposition of shares, showing that there's a lot of interest of buying into this one. And that's definitely a good thing to see from institutions. Now, on another thing is the insiders. Insiders here was back in July, the last activity. There was some sales, but we already discussed this one here. Graves Michael was more interested in the oil and gas industry. And when the company kind of switched over from TRCH to MMAT, his interest kind of died down and sold his shares because MMAT is not an oil and gas company. Now, on the short shares availability, there's currently around 500,000 shares available for short selling. An MMAT short borrow fee rate is currently at 14.31%. Although on any given day, the short selling activity or short selling volume is not as high as one would anticipate. It's quite low, in fact. And so short selling is not something we need to worry about. Let's move on towards technical analysis. Now, from a technical analysis perspective, what we do get to see first off on the 1 month, 1 day perspective is that the moving averages are looking bullish. The 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA. That's a very bullish sign. And the price point is above the 50 SMA. Now, there's a trading action zone as well where most positive reversals would occur. It's between the 10 SMA, the green line, and the 30 EMA, the red line. That's between 511 and 475 respectively. Now, on the average directional index, we're currently sitting at 40.45, suggesting that there is a chance for this one to continue on with this massive trend, going an uptrend in this case. And on the willing percent R, this is shown to be neutral, so it's very similar to relative strength index. It's neither overbought or oversold. And on the MACD, what we do get to see in this level is that momentum and the kind of power is very much onto the zero line, suggesting it's just doing nothing but accumulating. And I see that that is actually a fact on here, and I will discuss what pattern this is coming out. Momentum is at 0.05 as well. Now, on the stochastic fast and stochastic slow, both are actually curving upwards, and that is a bullish thing on its own, suggesting that the stock would raise in price as we continue doing or continue moving on forward. In terms of the moving average bands, what we get to see is that the moving average is expecting that this one to trade between 555, 505 in the middle, and 435 in the bottom, or 454, my bad. The Bollinger Bands are between 574 and 435. Now, what does this actually tell you? Well, you get to see that the moving average bands are going upwards, and that's a bullish thing. And the Bollinger Bands are closing in, suggesting that this accumulation date or days are numbered. So currently on the Fibonacci retracements, and the reason why I'm highlighting this one is because high institutional buyers and high frequency traders use it. So you're able to see 449 is the current support, 554 resistance, 639, 723, and 844. Now, on a price line action, what we get to see is that there is a current strong support at the 506, below there, 480, below there, 440, below there, around 424, going downwards to 383, 345, 316, 303, and down to 281 level. Resistances, 525 is the current level of resistance, 547 is another one, 569, going up to 583, and then upwards to around 656, and then upwards to around 723 and 799. comes to the question to Ed, what do you think is going to happen here? Now, if you looked into what happens before 99.7, and it's not available on this platform, but basically this kind of dropped significantly, went down towards the 280 level. I'm currently sitting at 516. Now, if you were to take a look into trends where a lot of these stocks had a lot of retail influence, you get to see the major panic selling, and then it goes down, it dives downwards, and then basically you get kind of accumulation on a higher level, and then it just shoots up. At least that's what I've seen for stocks like GME and AMC and a lot of these stocks that a lot of people are thinking, hey, it's done. And then it goes a little bit higher and accumulates and say, hey, it's done. And then it surprises a lot of others. It's just waiting some good news. And if the next news coming up relating towards earnings or something, this one has a really high chance of shooting up. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.